What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of This Brother Talks. This is I'm Tony Crawford. This is my weekly opinion on a bunch of sports topics and all of that good stuff. Um, I had a host of things that I was going to talk about, but it's hard to get away from the NBA the way that this free agency stuff is going on, and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna try to get everything fit in to see if I can get as much sports as possible um, put in. And so I'm gonna try to go with as fast and as thorough as I possibly can. So we'll start the show. We're gonna start it quick, and we're just gonna get it going. And I talked about this thing last week, and this week something else come up. It happened, the night after, actually the day after I spoke on this. But Simone Biles, she's prioritizing her mental health, and I applaud her for that. She dropped out of the all around finals. She did a whole lot of dropping out in the Olympics. And so for what I'm hearing now, she's supposed to do the finals of the balance beam. But my issue with this is nothing with her, because she has to prioritize herself when it's all said and done. Is the hate that this young lady had been getting from a lot of different people that feel like she should prioritize the United States and competing for the United States, which I think that's bullshit, because you can compete for the United States. These are the same people that always talk about, like, for instance, the military, how they're so for the military. The military go over and fight in wars and come back, and then our country don't give a shit about them, So, like, my thing is like, you have to prioritize yourself, and that's what she's done. And everybody always, has, their opinion on stuff. And in this situation, your opinion doesn't matter, simply because she's doing what's best for her, not what's best for you, not what's best for the country. And I understand what she's saying, and based off of the stuff that if her mind and body is not in the same place and not in tune, then she could possibly injure herself, and like it could be catastrophic. And so for all the people who are telling her that she's not strong and and all that good stuff, y'all can go kick rocks, because that is ridiculous. Because somebody decided to put their mental health ahead of competing in sports, because it's just with some people, if you played against them in certain sports, they were like, it's just a game. It's just a game. What are you tripping about? So it's the same thing. Just because it's the Olympics and she's one of the best in the world doesn't mean that she doesn't have any weaknesses. And I'm not even going to necessarily say this is a weakness. This is just something she has to deal with, and something that she's dealing with the way she wants to and the way she feels. And if not competing is going to help her in her mental health, then damn it, let us sit out and chill. And all these people, she's weak. No, you're fucking weak for saying stuff like that. Like that stuff kind of rubs me the wrong way, that you could possibly say somebody's weak simply because they decided to put themselves above everything else, when all they've done their entire life is basically put everybody else first. And so I wish some people would stop with these crazy behind narratives and all this type of stuff. Like, it's just ridiculous, like what some people do and say, and just let this girl be. And if she doesn't win a gold medal over here, then that doesn't make her any less great than what she already was. It's just she was going through a tough time. And I think some of you dumbasses should dang on start, having a little sympathy for people, because you're the same people that, if your boss tell you that go home because you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, you have a meltdown. The same people who, the girlfriend leaving, they sit there and cry and all that good stuff. You got all kind of craziness, but you talking about this person not strong because they're putting their mental health above everything else. Like I said, y'all can go kick rocks. Shout out to Simone Biles for taking care of yourself and making sure you're good. And hopefully, you'll come back stronger and stronger than ever. So we're going to move right along. And then we're going to talk about a guy that, that I've been a fan of. He was with the Philadelphia Eagles, but this is just unfortunate. Carson Wentz out again with a broken foot. And now we're getting more and more details on it. It's saying that this is an old injury that the bone just snapped away, and it could happen as far as high school. And like the people who have, been with this guy and all that good stuff, and like that is a disservice to him that, he broke a foot in maybe high school and he's went this far and nobody knew anything about it. And so, yeah, LJ, I agree with you. Fly, Eagles, fly. But my thing is like, and a lot. I'm a big Philadelphia Eagles fan, and I know a lot of Eagles fans say, "Oh, well, I told you so." But this is something that I don't think is on him. I think this is on previous people before, because if you broke a foot or something, or a bone or something, and nobody caught that, a doctor or anything didn't catch that, that is not on the player. And then all of a sudden it comes back to bite him. He's going to be out anywhere between 5 to 12 weeks, which I hope he has a speedy recovery. But it's just tough. Like whenever I was like, before I knew all the details, I was like, man, we dodged a bullet. And then after I got more details, I was like, man, that's messed up. Like, I'm not dodging no bullet. Like, that's just messed up, that the fact that, this wasn't caught, before now. It just so happened it's just, freakish what happened to him. And everybody's going to say his durability and all that good stuff. But let's not even throw this man under the bus for this, because this is something old, and it could have been taken care of some years ago, because he's been in the league about 5 or 6 years, about 6 years now, 5 or 6 years. And then he went to college for, 3 or 4. And no, I think it was 4 years he went to college. And then, high school, that's a lot of years. Yeah. And I'm like you, LJ. I want him to succeed. Like, that's the thing. Like, I never had any ill will with Carson Wentz. It's just some of these fair weather fans always talking about this, always the next thing up, and they don't realize, like, sometimes people do have bad seasons and stuff like that. So, I wish Carson a speedy recovery and all of that good stuff. And so we're going to move right along, and then we're going to talk about Fly, Eagles, Fly. It's almost football season, which means my Philadelphia Eagles are going to be playing pretty soon. And I know some of y'all really don't want to hear this, because, y'all, TC, he's a Raiders fan, and we got some Carolina Panthers fan. But LJ, he'll appreciate this right here. I mean, honestly, I'll just be honest with you. Like, I'm a big Eagles fan. I'm an Eagles fan to the core. Win, lose, or draw, I'm an Eagle. But this year, I don't have a lot of expectations in my Eagles. Yeah, TC, in the shoe. Yeah, you in the shoe, okay? In the shoe. And so, like, I don't have a lot of expectations out of this year. A lot of fans were, hard on Carson Wentz last year and big on Jalen Hurts. And I'll just be honest with you. I have not been a big fan of Jalen Hurts since his days in Alabama. Do I applaud him for being a professional and, coming up big in certain moments? But as far as that, this guy lost his job at Alabama. And anybody can tell you Alabama is the closest thing to an NFL team in college. That's the closest thing. And then he lost his job to Tua there. He goes to OU, and OU, they play in the Big 12, where they play in the Big 12. And anybody knows it's either Texas, or Oklahoma, sometimes Baylor, but for the most part, it's Oklahoma and Texas. And they don't really have anybody else that they really, really compete against in the Big 12. And, no disrespect to the Big 12, but it's nowhere close to the SEC. And which, should tell you something. OU and Texas are trying to get out of the Big 12 and get to the SEC. But whenever Jalen Hurts got to When Jalen Hurts got to OU, I mean, he tore shit up at OU until he played against that NFL competition in Alabama and those teams like that in the SEC. And then Carson Wentz's season was so bad last year that anything Jalen Hurts did, it looked great. He beat the Saints because the Saints didn't have any, film on. They didn't know how the Eagles were going to play them. But if you go back and you look at everything, we averaged the same amount of points. We averaged the same amount of turnovers, and all of that good stuff. So, like, what did he do that sold some of these people over? Like, you really have to watch the game, and he did not, in my personal opinion, didn't make us any better. And if you watched him in the red zone, he was worse in the red zone. Like, I just don't know. We got a new coach. I'm not real sold on him either. I feel like he's a yes man. And, so I am hoping for the best, but I'm expecting the worst. I'm going to be watching every game. I'm still going to be an Eagles fan. I'm still going to wear my hats and my shirts and my jerseys and all that good stuff. And it's still going to be fly, Eagles, fly. But I'm not real sold on our Philadelphia Eagles, LJ. So, but, I had to start talking about our Eagles, man, because I couldn't talk football without talking to Eagles. Do I feel like, we're going to be the worst team in the conference? No, I do not. Do I feel like, we're going to be a playoff team? Possibly. We could be a wild card or something like that. It just depends on, I'm not sold on the Cowboys. And TC, if you shut up, I wish you would shut up. It's going to be the worst. And I guarantee we'll have a better record than your Raiders. Matter of fact, you owe me some money, matter of fact, because we got a standing bet. So, give me my money. And so, but I'm going to move right along because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. And so my quick talks, I was just going to talk about the NFL and all of that good stuff. So we're going to get right to it. And we're just going to go by divisions and, all that good stuff. So the first division we're going to go to is going to be the AFC East. The AFC East has Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots, and the New York Jets. I just feel like the Bills are going to be the dominant team in this conference at the end of the day. I just feel like they have just a better team. They got a better opportunity. What do I think it'll be competitive? I think that the New England Patriots will be a lot better. I think the Miami Dolphins are exactly who they are. The Miami Dolphins. Every year they talk about being good, and they just don't live up to their expectation. The New York Jets. That's another story for another day. So we're not even going to talk about the New York Jets. So then the next team, the next quick talk we're going to talk about is the AFC North. The AFC North, Cincinnati Bengals, the Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Baltimore Ravens. This one is probably one of the better divisions in football because I think it's a three-headed race. You got the Cleveland Browns who are up and coming, and they are a quarterback away from if Baker Mayfield could just be a game manager, they could be the team to beat in the AFC North. And then you got the Baltimore Ravens, which I think that they got to put Lamar Jackson has to be better. They're just plain and simple. Like, he has to be better in crucial moments and in the playoffs. The Pittsburgh Steelers, it could go either way because you don't know which Big Ben you're going to get. I felt like the Pittsburgh Steelers should have been looking for a quarterback 5 years ago, because Big Ben is not the Big Ben that he used to be. And Marquise, you can quit talking crazy because Steeler Nation ain't gonna happen this year. But TC, yeah, we might be even. We might be even. So I'll let you ride this year. But and I think Pittsburgh Steelers, they should have looked for a quarterback 5 years ago, which I think it's too little, too late. Mike Tomlin has done a great job coaching this team, so I think it's a three-headed monster. The Cincinnati Bengals, they haven't been relevant since they got rid of Marvin Lewis, and I think that was the biggest mistake by them. Yeah, they might not won a playoff game, but at least they were relevant and got to the playoffs. Now they the bottom sellers of the whole NFL. And so my next quick talk is going to be the AFC South. AFC South, we got the Tennessee Titans, the Indianapolis Colts, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Houston Texans. I don't think the Houston Texans will be much of nothing because they got rid of everybody, and then the whole thing with Deshaun Watson is going on. It's going to be hanging over their head. The Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think Urban Meyer has enough to do whatever he wants to do, or he hasn't proven himself. They got to prove it. I think this is between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans. Now, this is all dependent on if Carson Wentz comes back in a significant amount of time and stays healthy, the remainder of the year. So I think that's a two-headed monster. Right now, with Carson Wentz been out, I'm going with the Tennessee Titans in this situation here. Yeah, Marquise, that's what I said. The Titans hand down. Titans got that. But I mean, if Carson Wentz comes back, I think the Indianapolis Colts is a quarterback away from and a player away from beating the Titans. So that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but we're going to see what's going to happen whenever Carson Wentz comes back. We'll see how far along in the season they are, and we'll go from there. All right, the next one is the AFC West. That's the Denver Broncos, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Los Angeles Chargers. This is an interesting division too because everybody has given the Chiefs, the nod over everybody. But if you watch them, they struggled against the Raiders last year. I don't think the Chargers is going to be much of nothing, and I'm not sure what Denver's going to do. But right now, I'll give it to Kansas City. But Kansas City is an injury away. The Raiders, my biggest issue with the Raiders is John Gruden. Everybody try to say he did a good job. John Gruden, he screwed up that team to me. So right now in the AFC, I'm going to go – the AFC West, I'm going to go with Kansas City. Plain and simple. TC, I'm sorry. My bad. And so we Raiders are, man, y'all leave TC and the Raiders alone, Marquise. Y'all leave them alone. Don't give them such a hard time, man. All right, so now we're going to move over to the NFC. And we'll start out with the NFC. We're going to start out with the South. That's what we'll start out with. We'll start out with the NFC North. The North is Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota. My brother Eric could be mad at me because I just don't think that Minnesota is there. I think they win the opportunity to close, a year after my Eagles beat them in the NFC Championship game, So I ain't gonna talk too much about that. But then you got the Chicago Bears, which I don't. The Detroit Lions, no. I think this easily goes to the Green Bay Packers since they got Aaron Rodgers back. My only issue with the Green Bay Packers, I don't know how well Aaron Rodgers and everybody else will blend in together with all the drama and stuff that they had going on. But Aaron Rodgers is a professional. Hopefully he'll come. Man, I can't talk to some of these guys, man. And so now we're gonna go to the NFC South. NFC South is Atlanta, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, and the Carolina Panthers. Okay, this is what I'm going to say. I think Tampa Bay will win this division, but everything has to be right for Tampa Bay. A lot of people have just given them that. They're going back to the Super Bowl, but everybody knows it's harder to win back-to-back championships in football, and you're always an injury away from being, one of the lesser teams in your division. I don't see Atlanta being worth nothing, but I don't think that you can sleep on a team like New Orleans. And the Panthers are iffy to me. They had some injuries last year. I think they can bounce back. This division could be really, really, really a big division, but I think it's going to end up being between Tampa Bay and New Orleans. It just all depends. On paper, right now you say Tampa Bay because they have all their starters back and all that good stuff. But, Drew Brees retiring. We're going to see who's going to be the quarterback. And I think Sean Payton is the offensive mind. So whichever quarterback he has back there, I think it more likely be Jameis Winston. I think he can get Jameis under control because Jameis has proven in college that he's a winner. He won a national championship with the Florida State Seminoles. So, I mean, he's proven that he's a good coach. If he can get his turnovers down, turn those into touchdowns, then, you know, you got a different quarterback. All right, so so you going with Brady? Okay, I feel you, LJ. You know, that's debatable right now. All right, so then we're gonna go with the NFC West. The West are the Los Angeles Rams, the Arizona Cardinals, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Seattle Seahawks. Everybody has given the Rams the nod because they got Matthew Stafford. But this is my question whenever it comes to the Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford is the same guy that had Megatron and, you know, good offensive pieces whenever he was in Detroit, and he didn't do nothing. So what makes everybody think that just because he goes to the Rams, that's going to make them the Super Bowl contenders or whatever? Because it's the same Matthew Stafford that was in Detroit that did nothing. He didn't do nothing. I mean, he had good stats, but did he win? No, he did not win. So Matthew Stafford has to prove himself to me before I go saying that they just this legit team is going to win all of a sudden and all that good stuff. No, it's not. Me personally, LJ, I'm with you. Hold on, Marquise, you said who's more mature? Can you clear that up for me? He's more mature and experienced. Marquise, who are you talking about? That's answer that question for me so I know how to go with that comment that you made. And then LJ, I'm with you. The Cardinals are the team to beat in the NFC West. I think the Cardinals has, you know, all the pieces that they need. I just think that, you know, Murray has to be better, but everything else should fall in place. Okay, I got you, Marquise. I thought you was talking about Matthew Stafford, but Winston and the Saints, I think he's more mature and he got a better offensive mind that's with him that's going to put him in the right situation. That's my opinion. I agree with you on that. Okay, you cleared it up. All right, so we're going to move to our last quick take, and we're going to talk about my division, the NFC East. The NFC East, we got the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Washington football team. Well, first and foremost, I'm going to eliminate the team that doesn't have a mascot. The football team, I don't think they stand a chance because, you know, they always have the pieces and they're always big on this and big on that, and then they fall short. The Cowboys are going to be the Cowboys, in my personal opinion. The Giants, their injuries away, and I just don't feel like that they're going to, you know, Saquon Barkley will be back, but I think they'll run him in the mud. And honestly, as bad as our division was last year, if we can just have decent quarterback play and our defense hold up, the Eagles can easily win this division. I think it's a toss-up between us and the Cowboys, plain and simple. If the Cowboys stay healthy, there'll be a tough out for us, and that's tough for me to say. Do I think the football team will be okay? Yeah. I mean, nephew, I don't sleep on their football team. I mean, on their defense, but it's everything else that comes with it. The defense just can't do it. Can't do everything. They can't score touchdowns every time they get on the field. The offense got to do something. So, but their defense is tough. They defense is real tough. Don't get me wrong. But LJ, I'm put this up here because it's fly, Eagles fly until we die. So I can't see myself, and I don't care if, you know, this supposed to be a show that, you know, you supposed to there's supposed to be a show that I'm supposed to. I would not pick any other team in the NFC East. It's going to be an Eagles until I die. TC, you can shut up. And, you know, you said they'll split with the Eagles and the boys. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Chris, smart pick. Yeah, Chris is smart. And he's a Giants fan. My brother Chris, welcome to the show, man. Appreciate you checking things out. And LJ, I'm not lying, man. All right, so, you know, I got my football topics and stuff out the way. And so we're going to get into this not NFC. We're going to get into this free agency and trades and all that good stuff. So let me take this off. The first one is Russell Westbrook got traded to the Lakers. Me personally, I'm happy for Russ. I'm happy Russ, went back home. Oh, wait a minute. Before I get on Russ, Chris, don't do that. Don't start listening to TC and all that good stuff. So y'all chill out, okay? All right. So we're gonna talk about Russ and him going to the Lakers. Russ got traded to the Lakers, and the Lakers. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start like this. I'm happy that Russ going back to LA. That's where he's from. He has a lot going on in that area, but I think, and I'm gonna say this because I got some LeBron James fans listening. LJ, Marquise, they LeBron lovers, but y'all, I want y'all to go ahead and get y'all minds right now, because later on in the season, I don't want to hear that, it wasn't LeBron's fault or it was Russ's fault and all that good stuff. Right now, I'm going to tell you, if the Lakers don't succeed, it is management fault right now, because Russell Westbrook, in my personal opinion, is not the type of player that needs to play with LeBron James. He doesn't fit LeBron's style. Okay? We already done seen Russ play off the ball in Houston. That lasted 1 year. The guy says he wants the basketball. And do I think it could be fun to watch them get up and down the floor? Yes. But what's going to happen when the game slows down? LeBron needs spacing. LeBron needs shooters. And that's the biggest thing. When LeBron is at his best, he got shooters. Because if you don't have spacing, and don't get me wrong, Russ is one of the best players in the league. But shooting is not his strong point. And when I say shooting, he got a nice little mid-range game. But the NBA is about shooting threes now. And LeBron needs all of that spacing. And from my understanding, I think they just picked up Dwight Howard again. And they might have been Trevor Ariza or whatever. Now, whenever you play with LeBron, you become one of those guys that sit in the corner and wait for the basketball. That ain't Russ style. And so you put LeBron out there, you got Russ out there, you already got AD, and then you have, from my understanding, they picked up Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard there. That's not enough spacing for LeBron. And LJ, it's shocking to see you say this. I agree. That's why you never commented on that. And I'm glad you didn't, because I would have had to correct you. Appreciate it, Natel. Thank you for checking me out. But I just don't think this is the best fit for this Lakers team. Now, if you had more shooting, yes, that would be different. Because with those two, with the basketball primarily, where does that leave Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis really becomes a Chris Bosh all over again if they don't play it right. Think about it. Y'all think about it. Like everybody, I've heard so many people say, oh, yeah, the Lakers, they upgraded and this, that, and the third. But then a Mimi comes out. I seen it. The Lakers guarded Russ like, hey, we're going to play you 8 feet. You can shoot the ball whenever you want to shoot it. We're not going to guard you. We're going to make you a three-point shooter. But all of a sudden, oh, he's the answer. No, he's not the answer for the Lakers. Would he have been the answer for another team? Yes, I think he would have. But the Lakers, no, because it doesn't fit. Because truthfully, everybody knows they centered this team around LeBron James. And they've done a terrible job of getting LeBron the pieces that he needs. And they gave up Kyle Kuzma. And if I'm not mistaken, they gave up their best shooter in Contavious Caldwell-Pope. And they gave up some draft picks. And like I said, I'm a big Russ fan. Russ needs the ball. LeBron needs the ball. AD needs the ball. Yeah, that's my thing with him. And with those two, TC, Russ is going to handle the ball. LeBron's going to handle the ball. AD is the third man out. So a lot of times he's going to be sitting waiting. He's going to be sitting waiting. And then, yes, Anthony, yeah, and Caruso just went to the Bulls. I just saw that because I was going to talk about that in a few minutes. And then, LJ, you said what team? I can't think of one. Okay, he just played with the Washington Wizards. And I'll be honest with you. And this is a team that he could have played for. And I said this right. And I wouldn't even. No, I'm not even gonna go there. But Russ could have went to the Knicks. He could have went to the Knicks. They could have used a player like that, and I guarantee they could have got another big name free agent with all the pieces that the Knicks have. He could have went to Brooklyn. He would have fit right in Brooklyn. He would have fit in Brooklyn. I know he would have. That was going to be the first team I brought up, TC, was Brooklyn. I'm trying to think of somebody else. But that's two teams right there that – and look, I'll tell you something else because did what's the name them sign Drew Holiday? Did they sign him for a year or 2 years? Or 3 years. What you mean? Yeah, Natel, another one. Miami would have been a good one that he could have went to because they got shooting around there. And then you got a dog and Jimmy Butler. I'm just telling you, LJ, it's a whole bunch of teams. You saying rush to Brooklyn? He could have fit in with Brooklyn because, truth be told, you could have played. Kyrie don't want to play point. He just want to be a scorer. Him and James could have played, off and on the ball or whatever, whichever one. And then, James is 6'5", about 6'6", 6'7". He could have guarded the three. They played together. So we already know what would have happened. They played together. It just the way Houston played, it just wasn't Rush style whenever they was in Houston. That's in Brooklyn. This is a totally different style. And Russ could have guarded anybody. You could have moved KD to the 4. Because it's really no big fours in the NBA, and then put whoever at the 5. It's it's just the LJ. I agree with you. It's tough, but it's just a matter of who's coaching and how they playing. A lot of these guys now are getting over egos now because they want to win rings, so they'll do whatever they got to do to win rings. I guarantee you, Russ will play off the ball a whole lot more in LA simply because he feel like he can win with LeBron. It's that simple, and so. At the end of the day, I just feel like, it's difficult in any situation you go to because you're used to playing a certain way. And if he goes to the Lakers, like I said, he's going to be off the ball a lot of times. So we'll see what happens, but I'm happy for him because he's going back home. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like this is the place for him to be when it's all said and done. It's just going to be hard for the Lakers to win unless they completely change the way they play and they become like this up and down team. And then that's not going to benefit Anthony Davis because we all know that Anthony Davis is soft as tissue, and that too much running and put too much on his body, that is not going to help him out one bit, not one bit. And so my thing is, at the end of the day, I'm happy for Russ, but I don't know if this right here helps the Lakers out in the long haul when it's all said and done. Nah, TC, we're going to give him great value. That's what we're going to give him. No, matter of fact, we give him stock tissue. That's what we're going to give him, something that as soon as you pour some water on it, it just breaks up, man. It just falls apart. That's what we're going to give him. And so, like I said, I'm happy for Russ, but I don't think that this is the way that the Lakers get better. Hey Ashley, how you doing? Thank you for checking it out. The TC, you said Dollar Tree brand. That's tough. So, you know, with that being said, you know, like we're gonna get into free agency now. So like I said, I was gonna talk about more about football. We're gonna talk about this NBA free agency. And if something else happens in the meantime, while all this stuff is going on, let me know what's going on. But we're gonna start out NBA free agency. Kyle Lowry is finally out of Toronto, and he's going to the Miami Heat for a sign and trade. He got 3 years, $90 million. And I just tell you, before I get in, they throw money at these jokers like it's going out of style now. And Kyle Lowry, I think he's a decent basketball player, but I don't think that Kyle Lowry is worth that kind of money. If y'all think he's worth that kind of money, please tell me. Please tell me, like, if y'all really think Kyle Lowry is worth $30 million a year. Like, you know, yeah, he won the NBA championship, you know, but he's not worth no $30 million a year. And he's going to the Heat, which I think the Heat are overpaying everybody. I swear how much the water boy is getting. Yes, I'm telling you, like, if I grew up in this era right here, man, like, I could get that bag for real, because they throwing money away, which is the TV deal, which I completely get that and all that good stuff. But 3 years, $90 million, sign and trade to go to Miami. Will he make Miami a better team? Yes, because he doesn't have the pressure. My problem with Miami is, and from my understanding, they maybe get ready to throw Jimmy Butler like a big contract worth like $180 million or something like that. And I don't think that guy's worth that. When they say no, I don't think Ball worth the 85 either. Which Ball are you talking about? And so, you know, then this Miami. They spending that money. They went out. They re-signed Duncan Robinson, 5 years, $90 million, which that is a little bit better because it's stretched out over a 5-year time. Yeah, you know, LJ, I agree with you. Lonzo is not worth that either. But you know, they got Duncan Robinson for $90 million. 5 years, and he only getting $18 million a year, and that's still a lot for somebody like him. But in this NBA, that's how much they're getting paid. They're getting paid $18 million a year. I mean, that's a big come up for him. Then you got Mike Conley, and I've been saying this guy right here, man. I'm big for guys getting their money, but Mike Conley, man, Mike Conley just stayed with the Jazz, and like he can't. He never stays healthy at the right times, and they give him 3 years, $72.5 million. Now that's you know 17.5 less than what Kyle Lowry's getting, but I don't think he's worth that either, because just to keep him, like, yeah, when he was healthy, the Jazz looked like a different team, but the question is, can he stay healthy? That's the biggest question to me. Can he stay healthy? If he stays healthy, yes, then I'll come back and say, hey, he was worth that 3 years, $72.5 million. And then the other thing is like him being healthy and getting paid that. I think that they're saying that, you know, with the pieces that they already had, he's healthy. This contract saying he would get them to the NBA Finals. It wouldn't be, you know, them getting knocked out early or anything like that. That's the way I'm looking at it. Am I happy he got his money? Yes. Get your money, bro. That's all I can say is get your money. And then you got Caruso, who just went to Chicago, and Chicago paid him 4 years, $37 million. And I tell you what, for LJ and Marquise, I think Caruso was just happy to get away from LeBron James, because because my thing, he probably could have signed the same thing with the Lakers, or maybe even more. I think this is just, let me get away from this organization because I am tired of it. And, you know, because you can see it sometimes that, you know, some of these guys, and then I just, somebody said Alonzo Ball, I just looked at it as a sign and trade for Chicago. But this is my question right here. When it comes to Chicago, what in the hell are they doing? You sign Lonzo Ball, And then you already got, don't you got what's that boy name playing in Zach LaVine? Doesn't he play point for the Bulls sometimes or most of the time? And then pro Cody White, then he ain't gonna stand a chance now. Like, you know, I mean, I don't get it. Like, y'all brought that up to me, and I just don't get it. Lonzo Ball, 4 years, 85 million, which, I mean, if you look at it, 4 years, 85 is not as much per year. So, and then probably the fourth year as a player option or whatever. So, you know, he got 85 million for 4 years. He's only getting 21.25 million a year. I say only, but that's cheap money compared to what some of these guys getting 30 and 40 million dollars a year, you know, stuff like that. So, I don't know, man. It's mind blowing to me what's going on. Then we got CP3. CP3 just signed a 4-year, $120 million contract. So basically, what CP saying is, I'm going to play till I'm 40. And do I hope that he plays till he's 40? Do I hope that he live out this contract? You know, when I say live out, I mean like play his contract out. Yes. Do I think his body's going to hold up? I don't know. I don't think his body will hold up for this contract. And I think the Suns took a big risk in re-signing Chris Paul because, in my opinion, this was their year to win it. I don't see them making that much noise over the next 3 or 4 years to justify this contract. Are you paying Chris Paul because of the great job that he did in bringing some balance to this team and, you know, some toughness and some mental toughness? Yeah, a little bit. Chris, I agree with you. They overpaid CP3. And TC, I agree. I said it was a risk. You said it's a gamble. Same thing. LJ, yeah, you agreeing. And then TC said, yeah, this was their year. I just felt like this was their year to win it. You know, with everything that happened, you know, LeBron, AD being hurt, Kawhi getting hurt, everybody they played against had, you know, some type of injury, which injuries come with the game. But this was their year. I felt like, and then they got up 2-0 on Giannis and the Bucks, and then they fell apart. You know, and everybody trying to blame it on CP3, and I think it has a lot to do with a lot of stuff. DeAndre Ayton being young, Devin Booker not being mentally tough. Did Chris Paul have some uncharacteristic turnovers? Yes, but I think this is a risky one to sign him for 4 years. For 4 years, $120 million. And as I'm looking right now, I'm looking to see what's happening, you know, with all this other stuff. The Pistons signed Olynyk, 3 years, $37 million. Man, it's crazy what's going on with all these guys. And I actually spoke with my brother, and we said that that the NBA free agency was about to be crazy. And then we're gonna talk about this Jimmy Butler thing, because they said Jimmy Butler in the heat of progressing towards a max extension worth $184 million. Now I'm gonna tell you like this right here. Do I like Jimmy Butler's grind? Yes. Do I like the path that he took? Yes, because he was one of those guys that were overlooked. He went 4 years of college, you know, came to the NBA, and he's worked hard to become a good player. Is Jimmy Butler a superstar? Hell no. Is Jimmy Butler worth $184 million? Hell no. If I'm going to an NBA game, am I buying tickets to go see Jimmy Butler? Hell no. So this contract right here, $184 million for 4 years, is not worth the ink that it's going to be that is written with, and the paper that is dried on. And for them to pay Jimmy Butler that kind of money, I think that is a travesty to the Miami Heat. I just feel like that is way too much to get Jimmy Butler. And he's staying in Miami because he knows that He can't go nowhere else and get that kind of money. Nobody else is going to give him that kind of money, especially after the showing that he showed in these last two playoffs. You know, to lose in the finals in the bubble. And then, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they get swept by the Milwaukee Bucks this past year? And he didn't show up at all. He didn't show up at all. And I just feel like this is way too much money to be paying him. Then now the Clippers are re-signing Nicholas Batum for 2 more years. They said it's a sign a 2-year non-bird deal, which player option the second year. So he basically signed a 1-year deal, and then he can opt out after this year. Derrick Rose is staying with the Knicks, which that's why I felt like they re-signed Derrick Rose, Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, and Evan Fournier. So, you know, Fournier's deal is worth $78 million. They re-signed Alec Burks for $30 million contract. And then Nerlens Noel a $32 million contract. I feel like the Knicks has a good nucleus. I just feel like they need to find a superstar that can come in and take pressure off of that, because they were playing with role players. When Rondo was your best player, then you're in trouble. Rondo is a second or third guy. He can't be a first guy. So that's what's going on with the Knicks. I haven't really. And then, okay, here we go. The Lakers have signed Dwight Howard, Trevor Ariza, and if I want to say it, it's Wayne Ellington. Yes, they have signed Wayne Ellington, Trevor Ariza, and Dwight Howard. They, you know, since they got rushed, they got to fill in some spots. Let's see, Trevor Ariza, he played with Kobe back in the day, and Wayne Ellington. I haven't liked Wayne Ellington since he played with the Tar Heels. So, you know, he's one of those guys. If he does the right thing, he could be a good spot up shooter for LeBron. But I don't know if he still got it. Dwight Howard and Trevor Ariza. Trevor Ariza, I liked him, you know, in his time with Washington and with Houston and all that good stuff. But I haven't seen much of him here lately because, you know, he sat out during the bubble, and then, you know, whatever happened this season. So, you know, the NBA is about to get real crazy, you know, along with, you know, a lot of these, you know, draft picks that they got. Shout out to Cade Cunningham for getting drafted first. And I think the draft went exactly the way they said it was going to go. And, you know, you might see some trades and stuff. You know, I think Oklahoma City was busy with, you know, everything they had going on. You're going to see a lot of signing trades in this free agency, and it's just starting. It's about to get real crazy. We're going to see a whole lot of willing and dealing. And don't be surprised if you see some big moves from like teams like Oklahoma City that has a whole lot of draft picks that they can, you know, bank all those draft picks together and, you know, pick up some you know, some big name players. I'm baffled over some of these free agency deals. Like, you know, I don't get it. Like, teams are throwing money out there, and it's almost like, you know, they signing guys to deals like Duncan Robinson 5 years. Do you really want to be what did you say, LJ? No, he's not, man. He's not. He's not good enough, man. So don't even try that. So, you know, it's almost like these teams are handicapping themselves because, you know, Chris Paul is 36. You got him to a 4-year deal. Caruso's deal is one of the better deals out of all of them because, you know, he signed a 4-year, $37 million. And so he's on Caruso is, you know, 4 years, $37 million. And he's getting $9.25 million a year. So right at $10 million a year. And, you know, but then you got Mike Conley, he's getting paid 20-something million. Kyle Lowry, 30 million. Chris Paul is going to be getting paid, 30 million per year. And I just feel like that they handicapping themselves, especially the Heat, because they signed Duncan Robinson, they just signed Kyle Lowry, and they about to sign Jimmy Butler to a long-term deal. Unless they got something up their sleeve to get somebody like Kawhi Leonard or something like that, which I don't know if they have the money to do that with all the money they're spending right now. And so, I mean, it's going to get crazy over the next few days and the next couple of weeks. You're going to see a whole bunch of willing and dealing. But, the NBA kind of took over my show because I didn't want to talk a whole lot of NBA. But with all this free agency stuff is going on, and like right now I'm steady looking to see if anything else has changed or anything like that, because it's going on like clockwork right now. So like anything can happen over the next couple of hours, and I'm just gonna be interested to see who else gets all this big money when it's all said and done. So this right here is going to conclude my show for this week, and my final word is take care of yourself. And that goes back to the first thing that I talked about whenever it came to Simone Biles. A lot of us are, going through some things, and I'm a black man. I grew up in a black community and all that good stuff. And we were it was always frowned upon if you had to go talk to a quote unquote shrink or, somebody to get you some help. But now with the way the world is changing, all of us should go see a shrink or a therapist or whatever you want to call them, because it can help you out in the long run. I don't care if you think your life is perfect. I guarantee if you go talk to somebody, it'll make your life a whole lot better. So, and I say this because, Simone Biles went through what she's going through, and she brought it up to the world for the world to see. And a lot of people, discredited her and try to make her look weak. And I feel like she's strong, because it takes a real person to come out and say that they're dealing with some stuff mentally and internally, and I'll say this, for 39 years in my life, almost 40, I held a lot of stuff in. I said it wasn't nothing wrong. But, after a while, you have to come to the realization that you do stuff to hurt people. You do stuff that, I ain't gonna say to hurt people, but you do stuff that does hurt people and not realize it until it's been done. And, you're just not right mentally. And not saying that you're crazy. It's just, something is wrong. You're dealing with stuff, and it's just affecting everything that goes on in your life. So I encourage a lot of you to go out there, talk to somebody, a professional. Don't talk to one of your homeboys, because some people are going to pass judgment on you. I won't pass judgment on you because I've been there, done that. So I encourage all of you to go, go seek therapy. I guarantee it'll make you feel so much better, because with today's world, everything going on, COVID, you don't know if we're going to be on lockdown. You don't know if you need to wear a mask. You don't know who has something, none of that stuff. So I encourage each and every last one of us to go out there and seek some help, talk to someone, and, just get things off your chest. And I guarantee it'll make your life so much better. Because we all dealing with stuff. We all have our demons. We all have our skeletons in our closet. But, it's just a matter of how, you handle them, how you unpack them, and all that good stuff. So, like I said, I encourage all of you to do that. Don't feel ashamed about it, because it's a lot of people in this world who you think that, just had a perfect life. They go sit at somebody's couch and they talk to somebody and they get stuff off their chest to make their life a whole lot easier, a whole lot better. And so, and if anybody that frowns upon you, a friend that you think is a friend that frowns upon you because, you go and seek some type of therapy or something like that, therapy is good for you. Like if you tear ACL or you break a leg or you do something, have surgery, they send you to therapy. Therapy is supposed to help you, help you get better. And so that's the same thing with your mind and your mental. It needs therapy a lot of times too, because we all go through, some crazy points in our lives. We might not realize it because some of us have crazier lives than others. But at the end of the day, make sure you look out for you. And that's one thing that I have really made it my business over the last year or two, just to make sure that I looked out for Tony, because Tony has always looked out for everybody else. Like, I always try to make sure everybody else was good. And during that time when I was making sure everybody was good, I was screwed up. A lot of y'all didn't know it, but I was. Sometimes I didn't realize it. It took people close to me to let me know what was going on. Did I want to hear it? At first I didn't. And then, after a while, you go back and you look at things, and it was, yes, something is really going on. So, all this stuff over the years, from, a little kid all the way to a grown up, has really affected you. You carry that burden for so long, and I know I did. And so finally I've gotten rid of some of that stuff, and, life is a whole lot easier. I can go around and go about my day and not have some of the stresses that I used to have. Is everything perfect? No. But is it better? Yes. So I encourage everybody to go out there and seek some type of therapy just for your mental, because it'll help you out in the long run. So that being said, I just want to say, hey, I appreciate everybody who came in, chimed in, participated, and checked the show out. Hey, I'll be back next Monday, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, somebody who didn't get a chance to watch it, share it, send them to the YouTube page. I appreciate you guys. I'll be back, like I said, next Monday. We'll talk about a host of other things. So I just want to tell everybody good night and have a good rest of your week.